can see some light through there. So I'm going to show you first how to make it dry. What you can do, this is a German, like a Jowo steel nib, something that would come on in a kit pin, like for an Edison or a backslate or something like that. But you can take and push, why is the lights camera? Push the nib down and over. Right, if it's too wet, you can push the tines. So what you do basically is push it down. This is hard to do from this angle, behind the camera. And so you can still see it. Down. Well, anyways, I can't do it like that. So push it down. So I'm pushing the left tine down, right? Alright. And now the tip is like real tight together. So now you can't see any light about halfway up, right? So that's tight. I think that, yeah. Yep. And I can even demonstrate with those little brass sheets. And got everything into focus. So good. The brass sheets are about wore out. Alright, hey. Now that's as far as it wants to go easily. The rest of the way, it's a bit of a struggle, right? Now, to spread the tines, and you can do this with the nib installed, to push the tines closer together, you have to, it's easier to take the nib out. But to put it all I can't talk, I'm not awake yet. To put the nib, to make the nib wet, it's nice to have it, or it's easier to have it in a pen inked, alright? Okay, so there it is, it's in there. It looks nice and lined up to me. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to take this Demetrio cum laude, which has been ruined, but you know, the threads have been ruined on it by somebody somewhere. I'm going to stick this in there. See, that's all you do. Like magic. Okay, so here's a converter that'll work. Yeah. Okay, no tripping. Now, with the tines as tight together as I stuck them, alright, this should be a dry, yeah, it barely writes. So you just, I mean, nothing. And if I push down, I get some lines. Now, to create like a permanent sense of being pushed down so that the tines are bent up, that's basically what I want to try to do, is make it so that the tines are bent up. Now, so the old barrel under the nib trick, or above the nib trick, you put it here, put your thumb where you want it to bend, and gently push down this way. And that can open up your tines just doing that. And that's a little bit easier than dragging it across a sheet of paper, because you're not even pushing right on the tines, you're pushing on the, on the tip, you're pushing on the tines right there, so you're not going to hurt the tipping. All you got to do is make sure you keep the tips in line. Oh, that's nice. Again with this, which this stuff is not waterproof at all. Or not very waterproof anyways. Maybe it'll hold up a little bit, but I had a whole page in my grade book wash away when some coffee spilled. Anyways. That's much better. All there is to it. You can do one, both, either or. you can bend the nib up just a little bit, and you want to bend it at the feed right here. You don't want to bend it away from the feed. You don't want a gap in here. Alright, so you can bend it there by doing what I did, or you can take and you can also do that by putting your finger over it. Probably is easier to do this way. Put your fingernail over it and then drawing some hard lines across your page, and that'll bend it up a little bit too. But you want to make sure it stays nice and lined up. Okay, so you can also go with your thumbnails and just, where's the feed? And just pull the tines apart. And then when you let go, they'll kind of snap back together. You should have just a tiny little slit. Just a tiny slit all the way down. You don't want them like this. You don't want a huge gap unless you just want a paintbrush. Just a little teeny little bit. And even if it's just touching a tiny bit, it could still cause, depending on your individual setup, it could still cause a little bit of dry skipping stuff. So this one, let's see. I like them wet, so I'm going to make it even wetter. Can you see that? Of course you can. This camera's awesome. It's blurry though. I'm kind of pulling out and pushing up a little bit too. So that way the whole thing bends and moves, not just right at the tip. And make sure it's still lined up, which it looks like it is. And then we put the camera down. Oh, don't fall. Jeez. Okay, don't point it down that much because it's off balance. Haha. So then we... No, that's much better. Devil worm. It's not working just like I hoped. Oh yeah, you can see that one tine is up a little higher than the other. So what we're going to do is we're going to push it, because I could feel it, I bet you could hear it. Perfect. There. The end. Stupid pen, ruined. Anyways, I'm not going to leave it like that. Okay.